Alright, good morning everybody. Welcome back to NeelyFX. My name is Michael Neely, and this is the channel where I talk about foreign exchange trading, prop firm trading, and making money doing all those things, hopefully. Let's see, let's get into and I'm now joined by Henry, the Forex trading parakeet. So let's get into the risk disclaimer screen since I live in the United States, and I have to do this because I live in the United States, part of the laws. So this channel is for educational and entertainment purposes only and does not constitute trading or financial advice. I'm a professional trader, not a broker, trading my own capital. I do not solicit funds, manage client accounts, nor do I hold CFTC or NFA registration. I have held NFA registration in the past for whatever that's worth. Forex trading is highly speculative with a high risk of losing some or all of your investment capital. Only trade with funds you can comfortably afford to lose. And here's the CFTC risk disclosure. Forex trading carries a high degree of risk and may not be suitable for all investors. The high degree of leverage can work against you as well as for you. Before trading Forex, carefully consider your investment objectives, experience, and risk appetite. You could sustain a loss of some or all of your investment capital. So with that, let's get into what we're doing today. So this is Sunday. We usually redraw our trend lines, since I like using trend lines. And here we are with the DXY. And this chart is really busy right now, so what I'm going to do is I don't want to turn that off. Let's turn some of these things off. We don't really need the Bollinger Bands right now. We don't really need the Smart Money Concept, so we don't really need these Bollinger Bands either. So I'm going to turn them all off so we can see what we're doing here. So the highs and lows in here are going to stay here. I don't remember why I put this in here, but I need to figure it out. I'll figure that out later. So let's get out to the monthly. I'm in the daily screen right now. See if our monthly have held up. And yes, I am using TradingView because TradingView is awesome. Monthly support trend line is looking kind of sketch right there. Kind of broke through there a little bit, but it's still holding. Monthly resistance trend line is definitely still holding. It's nothing we're not going to be. If we're way up here again, that means we're going to have really high inflation again. And we don't. My wallet doesn't want that. My trading might, which would benefit my wallet. So monthly looks good. Let's go down to the daily chart. Or the daily chart real quick. And it looks. Get some more context, and daily support and resistance trend lines look good. Like the way that bounced off of that a few days ago. Let's see, and then let's go to our 4 hour. 4 hour look sloppy. This 4 hour trend line. This is the 4 hour support trend line. Okay, so. We're going to take this one and move it out here to there. And I think I want to pull this one off of here and move it closer. Yeah, I'll leave it right there. And that's an almost touch on that one. And there we go. So there we go. We've just finished the DXY and our trend lines there. Euro versus the dollar. Let's see if what we're doing here. I'm not turning off all these lines in here either because when I go out to the monthlies, it can show me some more information that might prove relevant in the day's trading. Can I turn these off? I don't know how to turn them back on again, so I'll just leave those there. Not really doing anything. Not really hurting anybody. So here we are, the monthly resistance trend lines. They look good. Nothing's been violated. Let's go down to the dailies and see what we're doing on our daily trend lines. Daily support and resistance trend lines look good. And the 4 hour, looks like the 4 hour resistance trend line is broken. Go down here and yep, sure was. Look at that. So let's find our other point for our 4 hour resistance trend line, which is right here, and I've got the other point right there. We're going to move it to way out here. Make that a little different. So we've got a little bit of turning in the trend lines there. And this is the 4-hour support trend line. This must be the daily support trend line. Can't tell, these little things aren't moving around. Yeah, it's daily support trend line. Okay, so that looks good. After that, we are going to go to the pound versus the yen. Pound versus the yen, we have this right here, and what do we have going on here? Let's go out to the monthly again. Pound versus the monthly. Monthly support trend lines are all good. It's hard to see with all the jumbling in there, but that's okay. Daily support trend lines are good, so let's go down to monthly. Daily, I don't have weeklies on this one. Long-term support, 150.88. I need to get back into those videos and complete them and watch them. And I have the day off on Tuesday, upcoming, so I'll be in the office all day Tuesday. So I may do a couple of videos on Tuesday. Who knows? We'll find out. Daily support trend lines, daily resistance trend lines, both look good. And then the 4-hour support resistance trend lines right here. See what these look like. Oh, just moved something. Control Z. Control Z again. I don't remember that being there at 148.23. $148.32. Don't remember why that's there. Oh well. Let's see. And 4-hour support and resistance trend lines. That's my 4-hour support. Looks good. And 4-hour resistance at this one. Monthly. Daily. Cancel. And probably 4-hour resistance trend line. Where did it go? Do I not have a 4-hour resistance trend line on this one? Did I accidentally delete it? We need one. It goes to go from there to here. Alright, let's do that. So we're going to do a 4-hour resistance trend line. We're going to use the Ray tool, because the Ray tool is awesome. And right there on top of that blue one right there. And this is our 4-hour resistance trend line. Take out trend line. I know it's a trend line. So let's take a little better look at this. And we can see this is dancing right along that 4-hour trend line. Things that make you go, maybe it will continue to do that and continue to dance along that trend line and further down, which would make sense. Right now it's approaching a very strong support level at 150. I'm not going to put that line in there, but that would be something to consider. I need to figure out what that line's in there for. Oh well. Moving right along. That's what happens when you start drawing lines all over the place without putting labels on them, is that you forget what those lines are there for, and then they lose their importance. So, pound versus the yen. Let's get back out and do the monthlies. I'm sure the monthlies are good. Monthly trend lines. Looking forward to some monthly trend lines being broken. Monthly support resistance trend lines making a nice little wedge right there. We'll see what happens with that in the future. It's got a little bit longer to play out. Probably coming down to here and then bouncing back up to here maybe. And here before doing something. Probably going up. If I had to hazard a guess, I think it's the way the wedges work. So the monthly resistance trend lines are right there. They look good. Let's go down to our dailies. Daily. Daily support and resistance trend lines. Psychological level at 132.5. How about that? See, if you put labels on them, you know if those lines are for. 133.27. I'll have to go back to that video and remember why that line is there, and then we'll put it there. That's the monthly. Daily resistance trend line. It's also looking good. Almost broke it right here, but not enough to redraw it. And then we have our 4-hour support trend lines on the cable, as it's called. Why is it called the cable? Because they sent a cable from New York to London. A telegram, so to speak. That's a 4-hour resistance trend line. It's been broken. So we need to find our other touch point on it right there. And move it out here. I think it's a pretty strong one right there. Let me pull this down to the close. What happens on that one? That's a little bit better. Put the trend line on the close instead of the... We'll try it for that one, see what happens. So the 4-hour trend line has been redrawn. This one has not been... what is that trend line? The daily, that's the daily. 4-hour is right there. Yeah, 4-hour. 4-hour looks good too. Okay, done for the cable. Let's go to the pound versus the yen. And pound versus the yen. Our favorite, the dragon, as I like to call it. They call it riding the dragon and something like, oh, look at that double top. See what happens when you go to the monthly view and you get to see nice things like a clean double top right there? Very interesting. Very, very interesting. That is a very nice double top. See what I'm talking about? Might be a time for a turnaround at 120 at 202. Just might be ready for one. Okay, monthly resistance trend line. This one's been completely not moved. So the monthly trend line actually broke the monthly resistance trend line. I'm going high to high on this and low to low on this instead of by the close. So we'll see how that changes, or if I decide to change that strategy later. Daily. Let's go to our daily trend lines and see what we got going on here. And trend lines are not the end all be all, but they are a very good indication of what could happen next. Since they do tend to trade long trend lines for some reason. Why? Because the big boys do that. Why do they do that? I don't know. I don't work there. So here we have the daily trend lines. I've got an idea about this 4-hour support trend line. I don't like that 4-hour support trend line because I think it's big misleading. 4-hour support trend lines, go down to it. This is it, I think. We're going to delete that one. Okay. We'll delete that one, start it all over again because we have our 4-hour support trend line here, I think. I think it's this one. Yep, 4-hour support trend line looks good. Because if this is going to be making a downturn, we need to change our trend line here. And call it green. Green for support. Light green, why not? For our support trend line. So it looks like we might see some action on the pound versus the yen. I would expect it to, because we are looking at a rising interest rate situation with the Japanese market. I've been saying that all month, but you know, who knows? That's the fundamentals behind it. Technicals usually show us where the fundamentals lie. So we're going to keep going with that. Or the fundamentals are just, who knows. Let's go. It's a hotly debated topic ever since I've been in trading and stuff and brokering and stuff like that. Technicals or resistance, although my first brokerage firm did not have charts at all. They just wanted us to sell. Let's see. They got rated by the SEC too. Let's see. Here we have the monthly trend lines look good. The monthly support trend lines look good. Give me just a second. I'll be back in just a second. All right. Here we are back with the dollar versus the Canadian. Monthly support trend lines look good. Dailies, I don't like the way the dailies drawn, but let's zoom in a little better. Let's go all the way back to May of 2021. All right, so let's go to the dailies now. Daily trend lines right here, and we'll go ahead and move that out like that. There we go. We have the daily trend lines. They look kind of awesome. They still look good. Oh, no, they don't. Daily trend line's been breached way up here. So this one needs to go the way up there. Very interesting. Now what happens if I pull this down to the close? Pull this one down to the close. What does that look like? Might work out better. I start going to the close instead of going to the top. We have a very sharply increasing wedge right there, or trading channel. Time to break out the pitchforks on that one. Oh well. Let's go down to the 4 hour. Pitchforks are another fun tool. They're right here, I think. Yeah, there's a pitchfork. We'll experiment with those later. And the 4 hour support and resistance trend lines, that one's been breached, but it came right back in inside it. So we're going to leave it right where it is. It breached, but it didn't quite clear. 4 hour support trend line, those are going to close. So it's kind of going to take a lot of sideways action right there. So let's see what happens with that during the week. Should probably go to, well, we'll do that in a minute. Let's see, what's next? CAD versus the yen. New kid on the block. Because we're starting to take advantage of, take a look at the oil trade and see if we want to get into some oil trades on there, that too. Why is it highly dependent on the oil trade? I'll say this again, because Canada is a big oil producer and Japan imports all 100% of their oil. So that's why it's a reflection of the oil trade. So here we are, the monthly it's at 46.8. How about that? The has it going below the 50 mark? Monthly and daily resistance trend lines, monthly support and resistance trend lines look good. Let's get back out to the daily. I should spend more time in the weeklies, but I don't right now. I probably will moving forward. Daily resistance trend lines both look good. I just drew those a couple days ago, so when I first got started on this, that 4 hour resistance trend line is looking a little shabby. I think we need to redraw that one in general. That is very misleading, because what we have here is a deep downtrending market, and this resistance trend line is saying it is not. Although from here to the high here, yeah, let's do that. We'll call it red, and we'll call it 4 hour resistance, because the trend has changed. It's now going down instead of going up on the 4 hour chart. So that may be a need to take a look at the range and see if there may be a range going on in there. Put a quick pitchfork in there and see what happens. This one will go boom, boom, boom. That's not right. Again, boom, boom, boom. That looks better. And, I want to leave that in there just for kicks. And you take your last 3 points, last 3 swing lows, or swing points, whether they're highs or lows, depending on which way the market's going. This market is clearly going down. So, and then draw the pitchfork that way, and it should give you just a little bit more information on what's going on with that. Well, we'll take that out because we're not doing that today. Maybe do that tomorrow or Tuesday. The focus right now is just on the trend lines, just trying to get those redrawn, and then take a look ahead to the events of this next week. Maybe the U.S. government will shut down. We'll stay shut down. Maybe it won't. Who knows? Not really worried about it either way. Let's go to the monthlies on this one. Everyone else is. I'm not. As far as I'm concerned, they can save my taxpayer wallet some money and stay shut down. But at any rate, here's the monthly support trend line right there for the Aussie. That's looking a little weird. That's going on. That's the COVID. That's the COVID times. This is the almost COVID times. April 2025. I don't remember what happened in April 2025. No, but for some reason the Aussie came way down. So let's see. Monthly support and resistance trend lines look good. Let's get to our dailies. Alright, daily support and resistance trend lines also look good. Getting to our 4 hours. Looks like our 4 hour trend, resistance support trend line was breached. You want to reconsider how that one's drawn. That's this one, I think. Yep, for our support. Let's just delete that one altogether. We'll start with a brand new one. So I need an array right there. From here down to here. That looks like it's going to be better for our information. For our support. And you can draw these lines any way you want to. That's just where I draw them. Make it green. And there we have it. There we have our 4 support trend line. And it's also looking like it's going down, trending downward for the Aussie. So it's still bouncy. It's still very bouncy, but then that's the essence of Forex. It's going to be bouncy. Nothing works out in a straight line. It goes up and down, up and down, up and down. Just the long-term direction. It looks like it's headed down. Gold. Dear God. Gold is pretty awesome right now. 4 hour to reversal candle right there. That's almost complete. Opens up above 42.80. Then we're off to the races again for more gold. Central banks, I hope, are the ones that are buying it, because this is just screaming a fiscal warning to every global government in the world, and none of them are listening. Oh well, let's go out to our monthlies. It's like the 1 trillion. Oh, it's the thing, meme I keep seeing, the Zimbabwe $1 trillion mark piece of paper. Monthly trend line. Well, look at that. Is that the candle? It didn't go up to 8,000. Okay, no, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that blue line is. But no, gold did not spike to 8,000. So we're gonna ignore that one. Possible resistance area, and probably delete that. At 41.25. Yeah, we can delete that one. Monthly support trend line looks good. I keep forgetting I don't have a monthly resistance trend line because there is no resistance. Daily support looks good. 4 hour resistance, and whoops. 4 hour resistance has been tormented. In fact, we can just take that one out. I've drawn a brand new one. Sweet. Let's get a little bit closer. See what's going on. Let's start down here. Go on that candle right there, up to this candle there, and that's our new 4 hour resistance, and as you can see, it is completely opened up. I love gold. I love the concept of gold. I love everything about the metals, but this is screaming a fiscal warning about overspending by every major government in the world. All the G20s, all G7s. Oh well. Silver. Let's look at silver real quick. Silver's awesome. I love silver. Got some right here. American Eagles. I love American Eagles. At first I thought it's the same design. They're just making the same design over and over again. But they've been getting fancy over the past couple of years. Hopefully it increased demand. Monthly resistance trend line is not right there anymore. Blew through that this past week. We're going to go right up there. Weekly. Let's go to weekly real quick. What time is it? I still have to go to my day job today. I know it's a Sunday, but work a lot, you get paid a lot. Something like that, maybe. Daily resistance. Oh, I misspelled resistance. Another S in there. Daily resistance. It does not look good because this is no longer the resistance point. That is up here. 4-hour resistance, same thing. We'll get to the 4-hour chart in just a second on that. And the 4-hour chart right there. And this one is way up here. Right on top of that red candle right there. So all the monthly, daily, and 4-hour trend lines are converging on one point. That's the 54.44 mark for silver. It pulled back a lot Friday, which, I mean, everybody on social media was screaming that silver and gold are going too high. But so the market sold off on Friday. We'll see what happens on tonight when the market's open. So with that, let's look ahead to the Fed Watch and see what's we've got going on for the Fed Watch for interest rates for the U.S. dollar. Let's refresh that and see what they're saying. Now they are saying a 99% chance of a current target rate is 4 to 4.25%. Looks like we're getting a 99% chance of a 25 basis point rate cut. And I'll accept all the cookies. And a 1% chance of a 50 basis point rate cut. So if we get some more information that the dollar is sliding off the rails, or that the American economy is sliding off the rails, then they'll cut interest rates even further. Cutting interest rates further with gold at 4,200 means the Fed's out of bullets. That's what it says to me. That their tools are not working anymore. Let's go to forexfactory.com and look at upcoming events for this week. And we'll change this to next week. Nope, not that week. This week. Okay. Apply settings. And let's see what we got going on this week. Canadians have got CPI coming out on the 21st, so I might see some action on the UCAD. And then down here on the 22nd, crude oil inventories, it's not really been affecting much of anything. A Great British CPI, so we see what British inflation looks like. And they're expecting a 4.0%. So that'd be something to drive the pound versus the dollar a little bit lower. And then we have CPI coming out way down here on Friday. They would do it on Friday. Let's see, we've got European PMI, Purchasing Managing Index, which is a measure of how much materials are being purchased on the manufacturing and services side. Business demand is basically what that is showing. Oh, we're doing a flash manufacturing and services PMI also on Friday. So Friday looks like it's going to be a big day if we get our information out. We may not be able to get our information out because our government is in a shutdown, and the Bureau of Labor Statistics and other agencies are shut down right now because they're not getting paid, so they're not going to work. So we've got that. Don't blame them one bit. So that's what's going on this next week. Could be a lot of fun. May not be a lot of fun. Who knows? But we will get into that a little bit later. In the meantime, you guys have a great one. I will see you tomorrow morning. If you like this video, then please click the thumb like button. If you want to see more of these videos, then by all means, subscribe to the channel, and you'll get notified on when I put out new videos, which is pretty much every day. And lastly, oh yeah, if you have any comments, if you want to say this video is awesome, it sucks, whatever you think, let me know, and I'll reply as soon as I see it. So you guys have a great one, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.